Brandon Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
What's going on, everybody? It's that time of the week. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's time for the SHW podcast, your favorite podcast. We are V3. I'm B-double Brandon Benefield alongside the great GB Gerard Bonner and the beautiful Diana Michelle. And you guys, before we get into it, I'm just glad we're all here.
Right.
Technically sound. I will tell you this. I got a hold of the Geek Squad at Best Buy. We've upgraded our firewall, our security, and I think we're safe this time. Again, to the fans, apologies for what happened last week. And
Yes.
GB, I apologize to you for having to deal with what you had to deal with. So, Diana, it's good to have you back as well. My goodness.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
It was completely unexpected, and it's weird. We updated our firewalls a few years ago when we had one breach happen, and we were fine. Things were going good, and there was a nationwide breach that happened last week, and it looks like we were part of that. So
Apparently.
apparently. So our apologies. We did do our best to try to present a show to you last week, and so I hope it was helpful. Diana, I don't know if you saw what happened, but
I did.
Okay, well then, there.
I heard it.
Yeah.
I don't have to address that.
Yeah.
I'll handle it. I'll handle
Saw it, heard it. I, of course,
I
went
have
back
a car
to watch
too,
it.
I have a car.
Well,
Wait, hold on. Diana,
Hmm.
you have threatened a lot of things on this show. You gotta be careful with that. I don't want anybody
All I
using this
said
as
was
evidence.
I have a car.
Yeah, and before you threatened to do bodily harm and shoot and
I didn't
stuff.
say that.
I didn't hear nothing, GB. What are you talking about?
I
Okay.
didn't say anything like that.
All right.
Well, I tell you what. Now that we're all back,
Yeah, we're back.
we're regrouping. We're back on getting back on track here. Next week is 4th of July, so early happy 4th of July to everybody. We're going to be all over the place, and so we won't be able to bring you an episode. But that would normally be our preview for SHW75. But since we can't do it next Friday, we're going to do it this Friday. And I thought, who better than to join us for this than the one and only viral sensation Juju. However, Juju's booking fee is astronomical now that she's so famous and has become quite the little diva, if I do say so. But instead, she loaned us her human for the day. So we do have a special guest to help us preview the show. And so let's go to that right now. Well, welcome to our special guest. You know him as Dylan Frymyer, one of the guys behind the scenes there at SHW. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great.
Fantastic.
Good.
It's, of course, we're getting ready to preview SHW75, and we're glad you're here. You can help us preview the big show coming up, our final stop on the road to the Rumble.
75 shows, guys.
Isn't that insane? 75.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
It's
That's
pretty crazy.
Well, but this is our first chance of getting to talk to you since SHW74, the way the show ended. We retained control of the company. You got Juju back after an insane month when she was kidnapped. I mean, it was just crazy. What are your thoughts coming out of SHW?
It's kind of bittersweet, isn't it? Like I got Juju back, but then Gary's back too. You just gotta take what comes with
You gotta
it.
roll the punches.
Well, there's that part, yeah.
Thankfully, he was there, right? It could have.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he's the only one that knew where that freaking room was.
Yeah, and if that bucket would have filled up, and
Yeah. I certainly didn't know where it was. I was backstage running around looking for you, looking for Sal.
yeah, you were worthless that night.
I know. But you know what? It all worked out.
Yeah, it did. But no, I mean the whole Juju story in general, within the walls of Southern Honor and out, has just been pretty surreal. So glad she's home. Glad she's with me, and I'm not gonna let her go anytime soon. So she was supposed to be a guest on the show, but Brandon couldn't pay her enough.
Her booking fee's a little too
What does
pricey.
she like to eat? Because we can totally get that down.
Yeah. She likes people food, but
Oh, good.
Really?
she don't get it as much. She don't get it like she should. So
All right. We'll have to
Um,
spoil her at 75. We
yeah,
can
I
do
didn't pay that booking fee once, and she left me for 16 months. So
that.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, that
that's
happens.
that's what
That's
happened.
a
Yeah.
whole different story.
All right. Well, we didn't get the princess on here, so we're gonna have to settle for Dylan being our guest here. But that's
Yep.
okay. That's
Sorry about
okay.
that, guys.
He didn't charge as much.
Yeah.
Right, right.
All right. Well, cool. Well, we're excited. And of course, we got Juju back. And because you guys won that big match, you got to pick a stipulation going into your big match at SHW75. Let's save that till towards the end because that's a big one that we're all looking forward to. I'm especially looking forward to seeing Matt Griffin in a dog kennel. That's going to be, I think, my favorite part of the whole night.
Could
But
he just be there the whole show? Wouldn't that just
Just
be
That would be pretty great. Yeah.
that would be
from start to
awesome.
finish?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's start out
Okay.
though talking about a couple of singles matches coming up. There's kind of this long going story that which is now turned into a feud between Alexander Lev and Grayson Pierce. Both men will be at the Action Building on July 11th, and they'll both be in singles action. Grayson Pierce taking on Tristan Moody, Alexander Lev taking on Joey Hyder. Of course, they've got things to prove. But they'll both be in the building, so their heads are going to have to be on a swivel to watch out for each other. Then you got Joey Hyder and Tristan Moody returning. It's Rumblejack season. A big win for them could perhaps get their name thrown in the hat for to become an entrant at the Rumblejack. And so, you guys, your thoughts on well, both of these matches, anywhere you want to start. Diana, ladies first.
I really like Joey Hyder. I mean, I've said that before, but I really, really like Joey Hyder. I do get confused about the whole American Hero thing, but I think his ability is amazing. It's going to be a great match with him and Lev, no doubt. Lev's on a roll. Lev's on he's on his own personal level where it's just he's kind of like I don't know that dark horse that came out, and now he's shining everywhere. Whether he's a heel or a face anywhere, he's doing so well. So that's
Kind of crazy the rise of Alexander Lev over the last 2 years or so.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
It is.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
We talk about a lot how he was like the little doormat to get into the Rumblejack when he was trying to get in, and now
Mhm.
he's just like
Yeah, he's
challenging.
got to be one of the favorites to win it, maybe.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's so over now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is a crazy rise for the faithful one. He used to be the most hated guy in Southern Honor, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
he
know.
was.
Maybe not as
To
much
the
as
fans and in the back. So
Oh wow. All right. Well, you know what? Speaking of, you said faithful one. I guess he got the rights to the name back. Apparently, we heard him say it at the last show. So
I mean, who's gonna stop him, right?
good for
I
him.
mean,
Right.
So,
Yeah, for sure. No, I think this is going to be a great match. If we remember, Alexander Lev was kind of the entry point for Joey Hyder into Southern Honor. As Joey Hyder kind of stepped in to be part of Lev's Faithful. I believe that was the night of it was a gauntlet match that the
Fluffman.
faithful ones were involved with. Yeah, against Cody Fluffman. So this is going to be great. I was impressed with Hyder that first night, and every time we've seen him, he's been very impressive. This actually might be, as strange as this sounds, the right time for him to battle Alexander Lev.
yeah.
Because Alexander Lev's focus is elsewhere. All he's worried about right now is Grayson Pierce. And sometimes when your focus is diverted, it's easy for someone to slip on in and get a big win, which you got to imagine if Joey Hyder gets a win over Alexander Lev, you've got to think he may have in some way punched his ticket into the Rumblejack, and certainly for future title consideration, considering how hot Alexander Lev has been. So this is going to be a great match, a technical match. I think it's one that could steal the show.
yeah, I mean, I think Joey Hyder is a great talent, and those qualifier matches, those guarantee you a spot in the Rumblejack. It doesn't mean you're completely out of it, I don't think. So,
Right.
I mean, a win over Alexander Lev, I mean, definitely has to bring some eyes to Joey Hyder.
Mhm.
Um, every time he's been there, I mean, he's wrestled some of the top talent in Southern Honor as well as Kenway,
Yeah.
Alex Kane, I
Mhm.
believe.
Mhm.
Um, so, and maybe he's coming back because Lev didn't stay true to his word on staying not faithful, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's
But
possible too.
that other matchup, though, Grayson and Tristan, I mean, talk about the opposite end of the spectrum as far as styles. I mean, they have similar styles to each other, but completely different than Hyder and Lev. So
Hmm.
that'll be a completely different matchup, I believe. And yeah, if you like high flying, I'm guessing that might be the match to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, Grayson
Was it?
Pierce coming off of a big win as well and looking to keep that
Hmm.
momentum going.
Mm.
And Tristan Moody, kind of like you talk about Joey Hyder, always been impressive when we've seen him in the past. And so, of course, looking for perhaps a shot at the Rumble Jack as well. So, not going to be a pushover there for Grayson Pierce.
Yeah,
Right.
he's a young kid and got a good head on his shoulders, and is definitely you know, owning that ring when he's in there. I mean, he took Hunter James in his first
Hunter.
Southern Honor appearance to the
Hmm.
limit.
Hmm.
Great match.
Kind of made him a name for himself. So he's definitely doing all the right things around Georgia, the Carolinas, and I'm sure he wants to punch his ticket to the Rumble Jack, as everyone does.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good one. Tristan Moody, an amazing talent that we have seen. I think Grayson Pierce, it's interesting. We talked about how Alexander Lev is, his focus is diverted. Meanwhile, I think Grayson Pierce is the most dangerous version of himself that we've
Mm.
ever seen. You know,
A
what
little
he did,
unhinged, right?
a lot unhinged. And what he did at SHW 74 is still just ringing in my head, and probably ringing in the head of the superstar Jay Lucas as well. So I think this could be a very interesting time for Grayson Pierce, an interesting time for Tristan Moody. And you've got to wonder, at some point, will the paths of Lev and Grayson Pierce cross? You just never
Or
know.
And
if not
if
in a
they,
ring, it's going to be in the parking lot.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, Lev's gunning for him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The thing about Grayson is so interesting too, is like he is unhinged, but he's also untapped talent,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
potential. He followed in the footsteps of Lev, and Lev was also the same way though.
Hmm.
He had untapped potential,
Yeah.
and he's just tapping into it now, and now we see his trajectory. So it'll be interesting if he can, if he being Grayson can kind of keep it together enough to figure out who he is.
Hmm.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned when we were talking about Tristan Moody, you talked about a match with Hunter James. Well, Hunter James is a name I wanted to bring up here because, it's Rumble Jack season. The last two shows, he's had opportunities to make it into the Rumble Jack, unsuccessful both times against Byron Young. However, then we get this announcement about this 6-man scramble for a guaranteed Rumble Jack spot. And whose name do I see pop up in this matchup? None other than Hunter James, along with both Dallas brothers, Ethan and Aaron. You've got Adrian Alanis, Liam Gray, both members of the Skulk, and then grappler number 26. It's a never-ending list of grapplers. You never know how
There's
many there are.
there's a
Um,
lot of grapplers.
and
Yes.
so, here we are again, Hunter James with yet another opportunity here to make it into the Rumble Jack. How are we feeling
That
about this one?
grappler looked in shape, which was kind of unusual from what I've seen so far. The
Oh,
grapplers.
this
Mm.
grappler? Oh,
No offense to grapplers 1, 2,
1 through 25
9. Yeah,
Right.
and 27 through 100.
I would bet you Hunter is not going to put any money up this time.
Yeah, safe bet.
Very safe bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
This is going to be a whole cluster. I don't even know what to think about this.
and I just want to
I see
confirm he never made
Adrian.
that money at Southern Honor. So just want everyone to know that. So
No.
Wrestlers were ringing you off the hook, like,
Yeah.
hey, hey,
Right.
hey, hey.
Look, I
Right.
was holding the purse. They were all crispy bills, so I know they went from Southern Honor. That's fine though.
That's funny. Wow.
We have to
Wow.
recycle the dirty bills, right?
Mhm.
Whatever.
Wow.
By the way, Marcellus, our camera guy, I think took off with a few of them because I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed, Byron Young took the pouch and he dropped a few
He
on the
was dropping
stage
them.
there.
Yeah.
But
The
anyway,
kids were loving it.
Must be nice.
got
Yeah.
him a little bonus
Right.
there that night. Yeah.
Right.
Well, how are we feeling though? You got both Dallas brothers, and then you got both members of the Skulk also in this matchup. So very interesting there to have two tag teams all competing for themselves, every man for themselves in this 6-man scramble.
It's gonna be interesting. Are they a tag team? Is Dallas Brothers a tag team? I didn't.
Well, I've
They
seen them
are.
They
tag
are?
in other spaces.
Elsewhere,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, I didn't realize
But
that.
they're also real brothers, and real brothers fight.
That's
True.
They
true.
do.
So when
Yeah,
it
they know
comes
each other
down,
very well.
yeah, I mean, Aaron, I mean, they're both, you know, how about that reaction that Ethan got with our crowd on his first
Right.
night there? Yeah.
No kidding.
A rock star.
But you got to wonder if that made Aaron a little jealous or anything like that as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting with the two tag team dynamics. Well, but is the Skull completely focused? You know,
Right.
they no longer have those tag team championships that they never deserved to
Never
be carrying anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta assume they're upset about that and how things went. I mean, we don't even know what kind of state of mind Alanis is going to be in. We don't know exactly what happened to him.
By the way,
Right.
Diana,
But
you
it was
had
in
the
the back of
keys.
the trunk.
You had
I
the
never
keys.
Yeah,
got
I
back
get
there.
that.
What happened with that? You had the keys to that car.
I never got back there. I had the keys. I was gonna go like after the show, but I was
They got
like, whatever.
towed? It
It'll be
already got
fine.
towed?
I don't know. It wasn't there.
Did
Wow.
you let him out?
I didn't.
So Alanis might not even be in the
He
match.
might be at
He may
Right. He
not
might
be.
still be in the
I
truck.
haven't seen him post on Facebook,
He
so I
may
don't
be a
even know
little
if he's.
sardine in the back of somebody's trunk. I don't know.
Well, if it got
Wow.
towed to like a junkyard, maybe he's in the back. Maybe. Oh man, who knows? Who
I have no idea.
knows?
Wow.
I didn't
There
hear
were no
anything.
plates. There were no plates on the car, so who's to know?
When Carly said that the other night, GB and I both looked at each other. We're like, we don't know anything. We didn't hear
Yes.
Don't know
anything.
nothing.
Nope.
I don't want to know.
Well, he didn't
Plausible
say that he did
deniability.
it either. So
Well, that's
No,
true.
he didn't. He just
Mhm.
said there
So-
was the car and
Yeah.
agents in it.
Or how he knew. Yeah, we
Right.
don't know.
Right.
Lot
but to
of
the
questions.
authorities, we know nothing.
Right, exactly.
We know nothing.
But
Yeah. No, I think there's some very interesting dynamics in this match. I mean, you've got Hunter James, who is clearly very desperate
Yes.
to get into the Rumble Jack. Who would have thought a couple of months ago that what seemed to be the no-brainer qualifier match with Byron Young would turn into now Hunter James needing a third opportunity, and by far a more difficult opportunity to qualify for the Rumble Jack. Then you've got grappler number 26, which I think at this point we could have an all-exclusive grappler Rumble Jack with all grapplers and see what they're able to do. But number 26 has got to be unpredictable because I think most in Southern Honor are familiar with 1, 2, and 3. So where they got 26 from, we'll have to find out. I don't know. Is he 7 foot tall? Is he 300 pounds?
I mean,
We
there's
have
even
no
a
idea.
grappler dice. You know,
That's true.
Wow.
Right. There was
Yeah.
a grappler
there
down.
was a grappler Zicky dice. So
Well, one thing
That's
to
true.
keep in mind too, GB, is that where we always sell one grappler, we sell more grapplers, and so
This is true.
in a
Yeah,
6-man
like multiply like baby's kids.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
and in a scramble match, I assume just like a triple threat or 4-way, it's no disqualification, so it's going to be
Mhm.
chaos. Maybe anything goes. So if there are more grapplers, who knows? They could get involved. I mean, we don't know, fans. You're just going to have to
Yeah.
show up and find
and
out.
they're also ruthless. I mean,
Yeah,
if you go back and look at the film, I mean, they in the no. Let's say there is no DQ. I mean, they went toe to toe with the hierarchy in
Yeah.
a crazy match all over the building.
With the
Mhm.
fire.
A lot of fire, blood.
Yeah.
You know,
And
they have a history of attacking Kenway in the back
mm-hmm.
before even making his entrance to Still Here.
that's right.
Right.
That's like taking someone's WrestleMania spot away from them.
Right.
Exactly.
So, yeah, they're unpredictable. The grapplers are unpredictable. Also, I don't want to. How I know I haven't been on here, and I'm sure you guys have talked about Byron Young, but
Mhm.
what a kid that is, and
Yeah.
a blue chipper, and he has all the makings of a star. So,
Mhm.
upsetting Hunter, and yeah,
Twice.
you can't underestimate a guy with momentum
Mhm.
headed into the Rumble Jack. So
Yeah. Yeah, he could be very dangerous. I think, again, it's as difficult as it is for new athletes to come into Southern Honor's
yeah,
home and grab the crowd. I mean, he did that from the start. And so that's remarkable. And so I agree. He's got incredible momentum coming in. Meanwhile, these two tag teams, I do wonder if for Alanis and Gray, who they think would be the best representative to go into the Rumble Jack and perhaps follow the cues of last year's winner, Carly Bravo, who
Right.
won the Rumble Jack and then challenged for the tag titles. Could these guys do that? Now, to me, the biggest question mark is on these Dallas brothers.
Mm.
I had an issue with this last month, and my issue is this. The big, stocky, muscular brother, the older brother, has the younger brother coming in and fighting for their honor while he stands in the corner. If I am young Dallas, I got an issue with Aaron. I got a massive issue with Aaron because here it is. The little guy comes, fights for Aaron. Aaron sits in the corner and then costs him the match.
Did he fight for Aaron though?
Well,
There was a little bit of a scuffle between Grillo and Ethan.
There was a scruffle, and
it
here
looked like
I
he
am.
made Ethan fight his own battles.
The scuffle
as a
started
big
because
brother, I'm fighting for my little brother. So I think, but they have, that's their own family dynamics. They can figure that out. And now the question's going to be, will they come to blows or over a potential Rumble Jack shot? I mean, Aaron's been looking for championship gold in a couple of ways. I'm sure if he has to choose between him and Ethan, he'll obviously want the gold or at least a shot at it. So everybody's got something to fight for in this.
Or do they go for the tag titles too? Do they have the same dynamic as the Skulk does?
Right.
Doesn't matter which one makes it if they're aiming for the. And like I said earlier, like it's guaranteed spot doesn't mean the other guys are out of it. It's just the luck of the draw at that point.
Yeah.
And that comes out to Jake and the lottery and all that stuff. So, it'll be interesting. So
yeah,
very, very interesting.
Of
I
course,
love things that are unpredictable in wrestling.
Yes, absolutely.
And,
well, then you're in the right place.
Every show at Southern Honor.
You're in the right place because SHW is very unpredictable. We say it every month, and that's why we love it. So we have a huge #1 contenders match for the Southern Honor Championship. We're going to talk about that here in a minute, but that leaves our Southern Honor champion Joe Black with what we thought was going to be a night off. However, we saw the backstage video where he was confronted by fellow hierarchy member, the Kenway, who I don't know, wanted a little tune up or something. I don't know if he was in his right mind here trying to challenge Joe Black. Of course, it's a non-title match, and it's being dubbed a hierarchy exhibition match between Joe Black and the Kenway. And again, I mean, I guess give it up for the moxie there for Kenway for, stepping up and trying to challenge his big bro, as he put it. But, I mean, I don't know. Joe Black was just like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And I don't think Joe's going to hold anything back here. So
I would expect him not to.
Yeah. And
absolutely not.
I don't know about
if you're going to, anybody asking for a tune-up, you're asking to be clocked. I mean, I don't see it any other way. It's like, just knock me out. Give me your best and knock me out. I don't have a lot to say about this one. Just sit back and watch it unfold because God.
Yeah, like I said earlier, though, brothers fight, and we've seen Kenway step it up. He was a qualifier for the first Jake the Snake, and him and Chip have had 30-minute Broadways, and Chip and Joe are, they're all from that hierarchy and that style and all that. So Kenway's definitely tried. Kenway's always kind of been right here, and Joe's here, and Chip's here, and Murder's here, and he's always kind of trying to jump that.
He's always been in that shadow, and I get it. He wants to get out of the shadow.
Yeah.
But real quick, before we move on with the talking about this match, you mentioned Chip Day, and we haven't seen Chip Day. We also were talking about somebody being trapped in a trunk earlier when we were talking about Adrian Alanis.
That's better than being trapped in the closet, but carry on.
Well, that's true. But I'm just wondering, does anybody have any update or any word on Chip Day? It's been, what was that, 2 or 3 months ago that we saw that video where it was like somebody stalking him perhaps. And I'm just like, we haven't really heard anything else about it, have we?
I don't know.
I haven't.
Nobody's heard anything. Okay.
I haven't seen anything from Chip. I haven't heard anything.
Interesting. Okay. Anyway, sorry,
Quite.
GB, your thoughts on Joe Black and the Kenway?
You know, I'll start with this. I have said it. I've been saying it for months. I believe Joe Black is on, I believe, the greatest run we've seen for a Southern Honor champion. I mean, the matches he is giving us, the shape he is in. It's the Joe Black championship reign we always wanted to see, hands down. And so it has elevated everything and everybody he's come in contact with. For Kenway to make this challenge now says one of two things. Either Kenway has a death wish, or Kenway really feels like now's the time. And so, what better way to test yourself than to test yourself against the absolute best? And so, I think he knows Joe Black will not hold anything back. Joe Black will not treat this match differently, whether it's a title match or not. And I don't think he's going to see Kenway when he's standing across from him. He's going to see somebody who is standing in his way. And so Kenway's going to really have to pull out something that he's not pulled out before, because this is the best version of Joe Black we've ever seen. So part of why I think this is dangerous for Kenway is Joe only sees red when there's somebody standing across the ring from him. So will the Kenway be able to actually recover in time for the Rumble Jack is the real question, because he's going to go through a real battle here, win, lose, or draw. But I'm looking to see what the Kenway knows that we don't. And I'll say this. If he pulls out a win, it's something we're going to be talking about for a long, long time.
Just to piggyback off that too, you said this is the best version of Joe, and as well as the championship run that we all wanted to see. It's also the championship run that Joe Black has always deserved.
Absolutely.
He got his first championship run taken away from him,
Mm-hmm.
and it took him a while to have that opportunity again. And he's carrying Southern Honor on his back, and Joe's one of I would say the Mount Rushmore of Southern Honor.
Oh yeah.
I
Absolutely.
put, him, David Ali, Logan Creed, and probably Gary up there as the Mount Rushmore of Southern Honor.
Can
So
I replace that with Juju, maybe?
that works.
I'm just all right.
But so Joe's been carrying this company on his back. But the thing with Kenway is he's got to be looking at it too, as focused as Joe is. Joe also has two guys in the main event gunning for him, and he's also got 30 guys coming for him in August in the Rumble Jack. So how focused is Joe? Is Joe going to take it lightly? Is Joe going to take Kenway lightly and leaving an opportunity for Kenway to gain that momentum we were talking about earlier going into the Rumble Jack? He already called his shot for the Legacy title.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to see how, if he would have won, let's say he does win now, but he beats Joe first. It's got to be in his mind that, hey, I already beat the champ. Maybe he changes his trajectory of that Legacy title because he thinks he can beat Joe again.
Yeah.
So it definitely could throw a fork. And like I said, brothers fight. And the other thing about Joe right now is Joe isn't finishing guys in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Joe's going 20-minute bangers,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to. It's not playing with his food, but Joe wants to test himself every time he goes out there.
Yeah.
So
He enjoys the fight, though. He
Yeah.
enjoys the grind and the gore of it all, and that's I think that's what amazes me the most about Joe is he
but it only takes
put him
3
against
seconds.
anybody. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So Joe's just got to stay focused. And I know he will be. I mean, Joe's, like I said, he's the Mount Rushmore of Southern Honor. So, but it only takes 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we get to that number one contenders match and before we get to your big strap match coming up, I'm reluctant to even talk about this match, but of course I don't want to slight Rob Killjoy, so I will bring it up so we can discuss it because it is part of the card for SHW75. It was announced last week on last week's show, and I don't want to go into too much detail about last week's episode, but the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship. And let me emphasize the Jake the Snake Legacy
Now wait,
Championship.
wait. Dylan called it the Legacy Championship. Did you not hear him say that?
I did, but I'm still going to refer to it as the Jake the Snake
Yeah, it is
Legacy
the.
Championship.
He called it the Legacy Championship. Who am I to
I don't
argue with Dylan and the holder of the championship? But I
I'm kind
digress.
of lazy sometimes. So.
Oh,
He
Thank
did it
you.
out of laziness. The other
Got you.
jabron did it because he's an arrogant, you know what.
Well, wow.
Anyways, the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship will be defended next week against Rob Killjoy, and of course be defended by. You guys can talk about him. I
Bryce
don't really want-
Cannon. Are we gonna completely just not acknowledge the new champion?
I'm not.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Hashtag
you're
not your
talking
champion,
him
huh?
in the ring.
GB's talking pretty highly about Bryce
Well,
Cannon.
I mean, here's the thing.
I'm just wondering if last week was technical issues or did GB set something up?
Listen,
wait a
I don't
second.
know how
I
to
mean,
fool with any of that.
I'm just
I
asking the
don't.
way he's acting right now.
No,
No,
no.
GB has
He's
always
on this
been
high
the middle
praise.
guy. He's
I have-
always been the one who's been straight line with everybody. So I will
That's
give you
it.
that. He's
That's
always
it.
been even.
Somebody
Sometimes
has
we
to
have to
remain.
Brandon,
believe.
Somebody has
We
to
wanna
remain
believe.
unbiased amongst the
Somebody
three, so
has to, you know.
GB.
I didn't say
I'm
he was the
not.
greatest champion we'd ever had. I just said we're acknowledging him as our champion. That's all.
I mean, he is.
and he
the
can
Jake
be
the
a
Snake
great
Legacy.
champion. I will say that Bryce Cannon can be a great champion. He's just a great.
Oh,
Yes.
oh.
I've said it before too. He's an amazing talent. I just don't like his attitude. I don't like his mindset, and I don't like. Yeah. Anyways, but you guys
Wait,
you can
so-
discuss this match.
Well, go ahead. No,
Rob
what do
Killjoy.
you think? What do you think, Brandon?
Let's go, Rob Killjoy. I said it last week. I was wearing my ugly duckly shirt.
There's not
Shocker.
a whole lot to
Oh.
say. Just let's go, Rob.
I wish I could have put the bet down before you said that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Gee, who would I have said?
Oh, boy.
No.
What in
Killjoy.
the world?
Diana?
No comment. I'm still mad because I was like not able to get on the.
I
podcast.
know. I
Yeah.
know.
My internet was out. My TV wasn't working. My phones wasn't working. I don't know what was going on.
Wow, he really hacked into your system there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
GB?
very weird time. But I will say I think this is going to be a great match. I think this is going to be a massive test for the new champion Bryce Cannon and for all of I mean, he picked his shot to get the shot at the title. I mean, he came in at the right time and he beat a Kyle Matthews that we thought was unbeatable. I
Yeah.
mean, we really thought, and we saw some of the best work that Kyle Matthews has ever done. So the question now is, can Bryce take all of that and turn that into a major championship win? You know, it's been said that it's easier to win the title than it is to keep the title. So now we get to see what Bryce Cannon is really made of. And boy, does he have a test in front of him. Rob Killjoy, 20-year veteran. At one point, we called him the gatekeeper here at Southern Honor because anybody who was new coming in the company all last year had to deal with Rob Killjoy, and it didn't go well for them. So I'm excited to see Killjoy get this opportunity, finally a one-on-one opportunity for the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship. And
You said it.
if you, yeah, I mean, it's
I
been
agree.
said. That's the name of the title.
Agreed.
Here's the thing. If Killjoy wins, we will see history made again by Bryce Cannon. This would be as the shortest reigning Jake the Snake Legacy champion.
I'm not opposed.
I'm sure you guys aren't.
By
So
the
we'll
way,
see what happens.
Can I just say, too, that the reason he doesn't want to call it the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship is because he's still embarrassed because the legendary Jake the Snake planted him right on his head with the patented DDT. That's all.
Well, yeah, that did happen.
Dylan.
That did happen.
Facts.
That's true.
That did
Your
happen.
thoughts?
Facts.
I mean, it's going to be interesting that Kyle Matthews' title reign was done with honor and grit and some of the best matches we've ever seen in Southern Honor. So
Mhm.
it'll be interesting if Bryce can carry the same integrity,
Mhm.
which by the ending of the last match when he won the title, I don't know
Yeah.
if he knows what the word integrity means. So
Mm.
it's definitely a different contrast than Kyle Matthews as our champion. It's more unpredictable. You know you're going to get in there with Kyle Matthews, and Kyle's going to play by the rules and still going to beat you. But it'll be interesting to see how Bryce carries himself as the Jake the Snake Legacy champion.
Thank you.
I heard you, Dylan. It was getting close. I do think this is going to be challenging for Bryce, and to see what he looks like as a champion in Southern Honor. Because if you think about the war he's had for years with Southern Honor, he's wanted to have a championship. And now he has a championship, a solo championship. There's no exotic youth. And just from what he said last week, he's his own man right now. So we get to see what he's really made of. And there's a part of me that wonders, if he continues to successfully defend the title, do we have to honor his wishes?
And you got to think too, he's got to be looking at the Rumble Jack as well. I
For
know if you
sure.
win, you can still challenge him,
Hmm.
but I'm sure he wants to use that Jake the Snake Legacy Championship to continue to move up. And everyone's goal is always to be the Southern Honor champion. So, but he's got to get past that ugly duck first.
Hmm.
And Rob Killjoy is no one. I've been in the ring with him. If you can catch him, you might have a
Right.
chance.
That's a
But
big if.
Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna bring it too, and he's also another guy that he's wrestled for Southern Honor a lot, but he just wants another opportunity to move up that card, and with the Rumble Jack around the corner, with an opportunity now, he doesn't have to wait till the Rumble Jack to win a title shot.
Mhm.
His years got him a title shot. His years in the business, his years in Southern Honor. So, um, he has that opportunity now. He doesn't have to wait till he doesn't have to go through 30 other men to try to earn that spot or call a shot. So, um, don't waste that opportunity.
Hmm.
There you go. Well, we go from that
Wait,
championship
wait,
to.
wait, wait, wait. I have one other
Oh,
idea.
go
I,
ahead.
I, I just want to prep you for this. We're in June now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Rumble Jackson, August. There's the possibility by Still Here 7, by the end of it, what would happen if we had two belts Bryce?
Ooh, Brandon might be it. Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that.
I, I
Oh,
mean,
I'm gonna tell you right now,
oh,
that ain't happening. If I gotta get in there and stop it,
ah,
if I gotta drag the referee out,
oh.
mm,
that ain't
wow,
happening.
Diana
wow,
gonna don the stripes? Is that what I'm hearing? Wait a
wow,
second. Wait a
wow.
second.
Hmm, interesting.
Anyways, let's move past this. As I
So
mentioned,
what if the Rumble Jack people come back? What if Exotic Youth comes back and wins the tag titles?
Mm-hmm.
Dylan,
And then you
enough
got
already.
I,
Mm-hmm. Then
Jeez.
they rule Southern Honor.
Oh my gosh.
Mm,
oof.
mm,
Talk about nightmares.
See, even
yeah.
Dylan knows. Come
Mm,
on, man.
mm, mm, mm.
Anyways, let's get on to
Wow.
the next match here. What I was trying to say
Wow.
was we go from that championship to the Southern Honor Championship and trying to decide a new number one contender. A match that's been brewing, a feud that's been brewing for months and months now, and everybody is chomping at the bit to see this one. Alex Kane finally going one on one with CT Keys. And
Mm,
it's not just any regular singles grudge match, it's all that on top of a number one contenders match. So big, big stakes in this one. And man, oh man, I cannot wait
I
for
think
this
the number
matchup.
one contendership is just the cherry on the top on
Oh
this
yeah.
match.
Oh
And I
yeah.
don't know that CT heard a lot of what Alex was saying during the match last month, but oh my God.
Oh yeah, on
That,
commentary. Oh yeah, he
mm,
had a
that
lot to
was
say.
mm,
holy crap. And then for
mm.
the ending to happen like it did and CT walk out standing and everybody else laying out, that was, I almost feel like he did hear it because, geez. But yeah, this is one of mine, y'all. This is one of mine I've been waiting on again. And it's just another step to where I wanted to be. But number one contendership, either way, I'm happy with the result.
Yeah, this has kind of been a year in the making too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alex Kane made his debut in the Rumble Jack last year,
Mhm.
um, and they had their moment where they faced off there,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I think everything's built since then. Uh, Alex came in, got a couple wins under his belt, and then found himself in a championship match pretty fast.
Mhm.
And I don't think CT Keys took, to that lightly, and I think that's where this all stems from is CT not getting his opportunity. Maybe that's because he was overshadowed by the end game. Maybe that
Yeah.
was, you know, the wrestling's a funny thing, and you don't know how you move up and down the card, but for some reason CT Keys hasn't always had those opportunities yet, and but when he has had opportunities, he's made the best of them. I mean, he's got a win over Kroll, and that can't go under stated. So,
Hmm.
um, and who knows? Maybe he should have beat Joe last month and become Southern Honor champion.
Never know.
You never know, because Alice Kane stuck his nose into his business. So
Hmm.
it'll be very interesting to see how this one turns out.
Yeah, you talk about dream matches and matches that have been in the making. These two, we're finally going to get it. And, I think about CT Keys just about every time he's had a title shot, somebody somewhere has interfered.
Mhm.
Whether it was the end game for his Jake the Snake Legacy championship opportunity, or in this case, Alex Kane for the SHW championship opportunity. So, really, the time for talk is going to be over. We're going to find out between these two who is the better man. And it only makes sense that the better man becomes the number one contender to fight for the Southern Honor Championship. So for either one, it'll be a rematch against Joe Black. Joe Black had an incredible match against both of them. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this can go. And it's hard to pick one. It really is, because
Yeah.
either of them could walk out as the number one contender.
And like I
And
said,
it's
I'm good with either one of them. Either one of them.
and it's kind of got to be on a CT's mind. Why is he even fighting to be number one contender when Alice
True.
Kane snuck his nose in his business,
Hmm.
got the disqualification,
Yeah.
and now CT has to wrestle Alex, who's already lost.
Yeah.
So there's definitely got to be this chip on CT's shoulder.
Yeah. A
As
lot
if there
of
already wasn't one.
I was gonna say a
Yeah,
lot of
You know?
frustrations mounting now on CT
yeah.
Keys.
Hmm.
Multiple things there. So, but yeah. Well, before we get to this last one, I gotta say, uh, what an already stacked card. Before we even get to
Hmm.
the strat match,
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
shout out to Jake the Snake Roberts for the last couple of years. We say it every show, like how do they top it and top it and top
Hmm.
it? Every show is just a stacked card after stacked card, and so a big shout out to our matchmaker Jake the Snake for making it happen. But
Yeah, it's really become a committee because
yeah.
now you got to think about it too. Like
And Sal,
Jake's
yeah.
making the matches, Sal,
Hmm.
but now you got Gary back. So,
Mm.
how will that affect Sal making the decision on the spot? Gary is also Gary, so he doesn't mind handing off a little bit of a responsibility. So I'm sure he doesn't mind Sal making the matches on the day of,
Hmm.
and letting Jake continue to do what Jake does. And Southern Honor's been on a roll.
Yes.
The last, I'm biased, but every year's been a great year.
Yeah.
You ain't wrong.
And it just continues to roll. And I think Jake's been doing a great job
Hmm.
making the matches. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, here's one that he didn't necessarily have to make because Sal made this one, and then in turn, the stipulation after you won the last match turned into you picking the stipulation against Gunnar Miller. So you guys kind of made this one, and it's got everybody excited. As soon as it was announced, the fans lumberjack strap match.
Mm.
And maybe you can give us a little bit of insight on how this is going to work. We saw the announcement about it and how there's going to be like a raffle drawing. I guess the night of the show, fans will take raffle tickets, and then
Mm.
before the match, do you know how many fans was it going to be? Like,
No, I'm gonna leave that up to Sal, Gary,
okay,
and Jake on making those decisions.
so a select
Um,
number of fans will have their number
yeah, if it was up
drawn.
to me, they'd all be around there beating up Gunner. So I'm
Hmm.
sure that you gotta keep a little bit of control. So
A
I'm
little
sure
bit,
that's why they're doing that. Um, but yeah, I mean, this thing became personal, kind of out of nowhere, and it's been building for, all year,
yeah.
really. Gunner turned his back on Gary. Um, and I looked into Gunner's eyes that night, and saw a different man, kind of a coward, because he walked away. He attacked. He attacked Gary with his, when he turned his back,
Hmm.
and then I walked in there and he walked away. And then it wasn't until I had my back turned when he first took a licking on me, and that strap's been present the whole time, and it kind of wrote itself.
Hmm.
Um, so it'll be nice to seek a little bit of revenge.
Yeah.
I've gotten my shots in, he's gotten his shots in, and it'll be nice to kind of put this behind us. And I'm looking for Sonny's looking for his momentum going into the Rumble Jack. So
Hmm.
um Happy Madness seems to have gotten their stuff back together. Um, Sal and I are good, and yeah, it's time to put Matt Griffin in the ground. And
But first, in a dog kennel, don't forget.
yeah, yep,
Hmm.
yep,
Yeah.
in the dog kennel where he belongs. So um yeah, just looking to go finish this with Gunner. I think he's a coward. So it'll be interesting to see how he runs away from everyone with the straps
Mm.
after attacking everyone from behind. So yeah, it's gonna be a good night, I think.
You know, he
what do
had
you
some
think
words
that
on oh, go ahead, Diana.
what do you think his his plan would be after this match is over, regardless of the outcome? What do you think?
I mean,
What
everyone's got to be focused on the Rumble Jack, right?
you
So
think?
that's right around the corner, and no
Because
Matt Griff.
I mean, honestly, his focus to me lately has not been on any championships. It's just been revenge against Gary, revenge against Southern Honor, whatever. I really don't know what his issue is. But do you really think he'll want to be? I mean, well, I just lost to Dylan. I'm gonna go get in the Rumble Jack now and
I
try to get
mean,
the title.
could you imagine Matt Griffin's uh person with the Southern Honor title?
No,
Yeah. But the goal, I mean, but it's also, there's WrestleMania season and there's Rumble Jack still here season, and everyone
Hmm.
wants gold.
Hmm.
Um, but we're gonna put this personal stuff behind us, and hopefully, I send them packing. Maybe Gunner can go back and wrestle at Action Wrestling,
that'd be great.
and they don't have to come back to our building at all.
Well,
So
there you go. And Diana, you talk about, not knowing what Gunner's thinking. I feel like when you have a psycho like Matt Griffin chirping in your ear, there's no telling. It's not going to make sense. I mean, the guy's a sicko. He kidnapped a dog. Like he's crazy. So there's no telling what these guys are thinking. But GB, what do you think about this big strap match?
I think it's going to be huge. I'm curious, and I meant to ask you, of all of the matches that were swirling in your head, what made you land on the strap match with the fans as the Lumberjacks?
um, I think there's just been a lot of running away
Mm, okay.
and running through the crowd,
Mm,
and the straps have been around.
yes.
Ever since he turned on Gary, he's been pulling off his belt and attacking Rob Killjoy, attacking me, attacking Sal.
Hmm.
Um, I've gotten my licks in with my belt as well. So I think it just all kind of wrote itself.
Yeah.
Um, if anyone hates Gunnar Miller more than me, it's the fans.
Mm,
So why not give
yeah.
everyone the opportunity to live a dream and beat the crap out of Gunnar Miller?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just hope no one takes any shots on Sunny days.
I
You
hope
never know.
not.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
know.
not.
I've been thinking like, has Sunny Days made the fans mad recently? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
No, no,
Probably not
no.
since the Dishonor days.
yeah, wow, we gotta
Yeah,
talk about
that's long. That's long gone.
what are we doing,
I wasn't
Diana?
going to bring that up.
Diana,
I'm just
Jeez.
saying
Diana. Mm.
there was some crazy stuff going
Yeah,
on
no,
in this
we know.
company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Don't remind
Tear that
them.
down.
yeah.
I mean,
Don't
I don't know
remind.
what
Not
your
2 weeks
problem
before
was
the
about this.
show.
We never actually talked about that. Maybe we'll do that one other day. But yeah,
Yeah. How about July 12th?
Yeah.
Right. Afterwards.
Jeez.
I was gonna
Jeez.
say a few minutes ago that you talked about the fans going after Gunnar Miller with those straps. Now Gunnar did on social media call out the fans. He said, "I dare you. I dare anyone to hit me and see what happens." And so,
Nothing.
I don't know. I wouldn't challenge him. I mean, I know he's crazy. I know. Now, Sonny, Dylan, you've got. I mean, you're a ring vet. You're in there. You can step up to him. I wouldn't say anything to him. I know better than that, but I don't know about these fans.
Well,
That
you
was
know
his
what?
warning. He put it out on his Twitter, I believe it was, one of his socials.
Nobody had to step to him when he tripped and fell on his face and busted his head open the other day. So he did that all by himself. So whatever.
Why? You are just stirring the
You
Well, I
know,
mean, as long as no one
Diana.
as long as no one hits me with the belt, then everyone has protection. So
Dylan, I don't know if you saw the episode a few weeks back.
the one where GB and Bryce Cannon
No, not that one. No, not that one. Not that one.
We don't talk
hijacked the
about
show.
The one where we
I didn't hijack the show. It's already
not
here.
not that one. I'm talking about the one where there was a show, a Southern Honor show where where Gunner came after me and GB talking about us talking trash about him. But it was Diana that had been talking trash about him. And she was getting us in trouble. And here she goes again. That's why I brought it up, because here she goes again.
But it's me. It's not like I'm just hiding behind them saying I'm saying it.
Just saying. All right. Anyways, we're very excited. SHW75. Cannot wait. July 11th at the Action Building. Come join us. Doors will open at 5 o'clock. Or I'm sorry. Tickets go on sale 5 o'clock. Doors open at 7.
There, B.
Doors open at 7. Bell time at 8. Yes, tickets go on sale at the door at 5.
Yes.
There you go.
Doors open at 7. Bell time at 8. Kids 10 and under are free, as always. And I'll get it out. I'll figure it out. I only say this a million times. But we can't wait for you to join us. Again, like I said, it's
The final stop.
a massive
Yes.
card, and it's the final stop on the road to the Rumble Jack in August. And you're not going to want to miss it, folks.
And it's our 75th show.
That's unbelievable.
75, Dylan.
Unbelievable.
75.
75th show, 7th annual Rumble Jack, and we're coming up on Still Here 7.
Yeah.
Whew. Unreal.
Beautiful.
Unreal. And we're not stopping anytime soon.
Time don't stop, does it?
Yeah, we're stepping on the gas here. So, Dylan, thank you again for joining us. And we'll talk to you between now and then, but we can't wait to see you on July 11th for SHW.
All right, have a good 4th, everyone. Are you guys here on the
Did you
4th?
some smooches?
Yeah. So
guys
yeah,
are-
we're doing this. We're previewing this week because we're gonna be off next week, and so that's why we're getting a little ahead of it. But
Happy
yes,
4th of July, everyone.
happy
And,
4th.
Happy
For sure.
4th.
We'll see you guys on the 11th.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yes.
Well, until then, this has been.
SHW.
This is our wrestling.
Boom. See y'all soon.